Good morning. I want to welcome you to the Tuesday, March 28th meeting of the St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners. Please stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can you send Derek the email or email him the link?
Due to the tragic events yesterday in Nashville with the shooting at the school, one of Derek's clients is concerned about security, obviously, so he's joining us there. He's joining us via Zoom today. Yeah, we'll talk Derek. He's on. Karen, need to come back and we get started.
I think we're good.
First order of business is the opening and reading of bids, federal aid project. Federal aid project. The countywide bridge inspection and inventory program. Scott?
We received 3 proposals for our countywide bridge inspection inventory program for 2024 through 2027. This is a federal aid job that will be paid 80% federal funds, 20% local. The first proposal we received is from DLZ. The second proposal from the Lockmuller Group. And the third proposal from United Consulting. We will review these and bill per NDOT standards and come back with a recommendation for award. So I request that you accept these proposals and turn them over to Public Works for review.
Good morning.
I think we need to make a motion to turn these over to. To review.
So moved.
There's a second. Well, yeah, I have a motion. Well, okay.
Derek made the motion.
No, he didn't. He said so. Anyway, okay, I'll second it then.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, the accounts payable docket. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to our employee of the month. Yep.
Employee of the month. Yeah. Anyway, Jason Nielsen is a park ranger for our county parks department. He is our employee of the month for March. Jason came across a citizen who needed assistance recently. We won't tell you the full story out of the respect for the citizen, but Jason remained calm and brave during this situation. We honor him for his amazing heroism. Let's all give a round of applause for Jason.
He's in the building. He's on his way up.
Oh, he's not here yet? I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll move on to resolution R9C 2023, authorizing the special purchase of police vehicles.
Again, Mr. Chandler has done a wonderful job of locating vehicles far away because we can't find any locally. He was lucky enough to find 4 additional police vehicles. Again, we can't go through the typical bid process because there are no police vehicles. I believe we were only able to get these because another department canceled their order. Correct. And so pursuant to Indiana statute, we can use our special purchasing power to buy these vehicles. The price seems well in line with what we've been giving them for. And so the county can take the action to utilize the special purchasing power under this resolution. So to ask for a motion to approve the resolution.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve this resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Any comments?
No, thank you very much. And then we have to go through the
I'd like to move the approval of the purchase of the 2023 Ford Explorer police mechanicals up in the agenda. If there's no objection.
Good. So I located four white 2023 Ford utility police cars that are pursuit rated. They're at Sutton Ford in Matson, Illinois, which is about an hour and a half from here. So the price per vehicle was $44,661. That's a total purchase price of $178,644, and that'll be coming out of our new car account.
I know you've been working hard on finding vehicles.
I
Yeah,
believe this will be it.
I hope it all goes well for you.
Eric, any questions?
No.
If not, do we have a motion to approve the purchase of the 4 Ford Explorers?
Oh, I thought we just had a motion.
Approve and authorize the special purchase.
Right.
Jumping down.
Oh, down at the police part. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were down there. I apologize. But yeah, for the 4/20/207, motion to approve the purchase of these 203 Ford Explorer police mechanicals.
Second.
Mr. Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Becksman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Good to see you, Dean. Oh,
Oh, it's Jason. Yay. Well, I just read about you here. It's here and here's your. We'll have to get it. Come on.
let's get a picture with you. Sorry, I'm gonna get started.
Join you and I'll take a photo. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I love the parks. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the employment agreement for the St. Joseph County Health Office. All seen this? Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Becksman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is resolution R10C 2023, supporting the completion bonuses for the Portage Manor staff.
I was asked to write this resolution by the Board of Commissioners in relation to staffing at Portage Manor. There's been some uncertainty as to the future of Portage Manor, and we know we have valuable staff who have received offers. I'm guessing because of what they see in the news, that people are reaching out. The intention of the county is to retain the staff to ensure that we can care for the residents of Portage Manor. So that's what's in front of you today. And again, this would be a resolution basically making a suggestion to council to take up this portion of the $2.7 million appropriation that was tabled for 60 days at the last meeting. It's my understanding that because they went through the 10-day advertising, there has been a public hearing on it. They could take it up at their next meeting. I believe it would require unanimous vote. If the money was to be new money, it would have to go through the 10-day advertisement committee, then full council, which would delay this significant amount of time.
Carl, may I speak on this?
Sure.
Yeah. This is a derivative of the action that Carl and I took, almost a month ago, to close Portage Manor. We attended the meeting. A lot of people spoke, residents and people in the community. Therefore, Carl and I put a resolution out to give them a 60-day window to attempt to find a person who may want to take over or purchase that. In the meantime, there's been a group, a task force led by Mark Tanzrite working on this. Unfortunately, a lot of bad information and improper information has gone to the staff and the residents. It's extremely stressful for those people to begin with, to be in a position where they don't know what the future holds. Most of the residents may be either going to a different spot. So it's a problem that we are working on. But unfortunately, some people have basically decided to take things upon themselves, give the people bad information, and especially the staff. We want to make sure that they are covered. We're making sure that the commitment we had to them to pay these bonuses will be there. So that's why we're asking the council to make the final decision to put the $800,000 toward that. So we're not going to stiff them if somebody comes in and doesn't hire them. We just want to make sure that the residents have the best care that they can during this whole process. That is all.
Thank you. I love to help the residents too and the employees. So I want to make sure everybody does well. Thank you.
Being no other comment, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve this resolution R-10-C-2023.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Going aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is resolution R-11-C 2023, urging the state of Indiana to increase the RCAP reimbursement rate. I think we all realize that that's been a real problem. Not going to be solved overnight. Go on record urging the RCAP rate to be increased. Any other comments?
From the state of Indiana. Yes, that would be good.
Yeah, Carl, I'll comment quick. I've talked with David Niskotsky several times on this. It's an issue where they can go in a bill. Again, it's up to the state people to decide if they want to do that. I think there's only 2 or 3 or 4 maybe counties that still have homes like this. So it'll be unfortunately a tough road for people across the state to approve that. But I think ourselves and the council are making our thoughts known to the representatives. Hey, we'd certainly like to have more money for the residents of Portage Manor. So we're reaching out to them for help on that.
There's no other comment. Do we have a motion?
Well, a motion to approve this resolution R-11-C-2023.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving along to human resources, approval of amendment number 1, St. Joseph County Employee Medical Benefit Plan.
Kim Carkwitz, Human Resource Director, St. Joseph County, offices on the 7th floor of this building. Before you is a request to amend our eligibility portion of our county health plan. It is a plan that's already been adopted and restated in 2022. The amendment 1 just adds clarification for eligibility to have this effective April the 1st, amends the eligibility and restates the classification of eligible class for a non-traditional position. So with this, it was an area that we needed to make sure that we addressed also that hadn't been in there before.
Thank you.
No other impact on the benefit plan?
No.
Do we have a motion to approve the amendment number 1 to the county medical plan?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, the Department of Health, approval of the grant through CDC that funds community health workers. Amy, you're going to speak on this?
Yeah, hold on. We need to actually allow her to. So here, eligible class.
I won't unmute Amy Ruby. Let me grab her and she can do it on my computer.
I was able to unmute, thank you. Amy Ruby, Administrator with the Department of Health, offices on the 8th and 9th floor of the County City Building. And we are requesting support to apply for year 3, which is the final year of our grant through the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC. And it focuses on 8 of our CHWs that helps to build and strengthen community resilience to fight COVID-19 through addressing health disparities. They also focus on providing insurance navigation to our community as well as social needs assessments. The total amount for year 3 is $914,000.
I have a question.
Yes.
Has this been approved by the health board?
Yes, it has. That has been included in the paperwork. They did approve our support for us applying for this grant.
Okay. And does this pay for salaries?
Yes, for 8 of our CHWs, as well as salary recovery for some of our current staff that contribute to the grant.
Okay, and is the grant solely salary or does it pay for other things?
No, it pays for other things as well. Yeah.
Okay, is that, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. Is that broken down?
I don't believe it is in the paperwork that you have, as an application has not yet been submitted. Once an application is submitted, or prior to that is when we would have specifics as per line item, how the money would be suggested to be spent.
Okay, and so this is phase 3 of this program?
Phase 3 of 3, yes.
Okay, so in phase 1 and phase 2, you have the information of how much each salary, or I mean, how the money was dispersed to a salaried person or so on?
Yes, I can supply you with the forms that were submitted to John Murphy and approved by council for the appropriations.
Approved by council or the health board?
Well, for years 1 and 2, it was approved by the council.
Okay, yeah, if you give me that, appreciate it, Amy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And actually, a lot of that information is in the packet that was supplied as far as personnel, fringe benefits, travel, equipment, supplies, et cetera. I do question what the other, which is a large amount on line H is.
Oh, for other, that includes meeting supplies, printing, advertising, contracting with a translation company to help with any translation that's needed. That would be included on, I believe, like 2 or 3 pages after where you see that line item for H. There is a breakdown for what is considered other and how that amount is broken down.
What's the plan going forward? What happens next year after this 3rd phase is completed?
That I'm going to defer to Taylor Martin, who is the Assistant Director of Health Equity that does oversee the CHW program.
Thanks, Amy. Yeah, so just the goal is to continue our efforts to address the health inequities or health disparities in our community, specifically around like insurance navigation and resource referral and getting people linked to doctors. And we have mentioned this before, but the goal is to also push our cancer initiative, which is to say, making sure people have the knowledge to get screened and know when and how to get screened. Our CHWs will be looking for funding around that. The CDC originally had started the CHW program through cancer. And so the idea is to go after state and federal funds that might apply in this case as well, and continue to support the efforts of the CHWs over the last 2 years. We are recognized at state and federal levels at this point, the national level, for the work that we've been doing. We've been spotlighted as a department in our program multiple times by the CDC. And so the likelihood of being able to get more funding seems quite high at this point.
Taylor,
Yeah,
how many-
Amy?
I just want to ask Taylor, you're funded through the lead grant?
I am funded through the lead grant, yes.
Sorry,
Yeah, Carl, I have another question.
go ahead.
Yeah, is this a time sensitive thing?
Yes, it is, as our application will be due April 21st.
Okay. And our new health director will take over April 1st. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, Carl, I'd like the new director to weigh in on this, since she'll be the new director. So I guess I would make a motion to delay this until we can get information from him on this.
Actually, Mark Fox is the PI on the grant, and he is staying on board. I'm not sure if that changes
No,
your recommendation.
No, I'd like the new director to weigh in on it.
Okay.
Since he will be starting April 1st, I don't see any reason not to allow him the opportunity to weigh in on this.
Right. So I'll make a motion to delay it until we can meet with him and bring it back.
So I think we should motion to table.
Right. So I'll make a motion.
I would go ahead and approve it to motion and move forward with it. I'm sorry.
I'll motion to table on the first.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
I
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
All right.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to the auditor. Approval of the second addendum to the SRI master agreement.
Carl and Kathy and Morella from our office are going to speak to the start of the property tax side of the job.
Thank you.
Kathy Gregorich from the St. Joe County Auditor's Office, and this is Morella. She's the supervisor for the property tax side. We've used SRI since 2006 to conduct our tax sales, and they've done a wonderful job for us. They're asking to increase their fee from 100 to 125. And that's not a lot of an increase. Back in 2006, it was $60. So it's gone up some, but not a lot. And this does not cost the county anything. The fee goes to the buyer, the tax sale buyer pays this fee. And if the property is redeemed, then the tax sale owner of record pays that fee. So it doesn't cost us any money, and they do an excellent job. They do all of the aspects of the tax sale for us.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
All right.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving on to BSAP, approval of work order proposal for the St. Joseph County Emergency Communication Tower.
Julie Toby, Executive Director for BSAP 58266 Downey Avenue. I'm requesting the approval to hire DLC to assist with our Granger Tower project. We've been working on this project since 2021. The RFP is almost done. We were just waiting for the geotech survey to come back, which they did complete last week. So hopefully I'll have that information soon. This project is extremely important as we need to improve our radio connectivity between the police, fire, and our dispatch center. in the northeastern portion of the county. DLZ would assist with bid process, the coordination with the contractors and myself. This would definitely benefit our center, the responders, and the county to ensure that we're moving forward, staying on track with this project.
Any questions?
But I don't have a question. I've got a comment.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to thank Julie for all the work that's been going on. We've done a pretty big improvement process from the personnel, from all the equipment to the extension to adding on. Eventually our emergency management people will be over there, which they should have been years ago. So it's a great thing for the county, the citizens. The radio update is surely needed for officers who get on that side of the county. And there's been a lot of complaints if you're going on a call and you're in a basement or in a building, sometimes you can't even get out on the radio. It's not working correctly. So thanks for everybody, DLZ, for doing a great job of putting all this stuff together. But this is a very good plus for all of St. Joe County, for all the police and fire and emergency people.
So it's gonna help everybody get better to contact, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And yes, good, good.
How are we on the timeline? I know this is driven by the
So
commissioning of the water tower.
I think if we can get this started in the RFP in the next couple of weeks, which should be able to get done in a couple of weeks, we should be able to start it hopefully end of April, beginning of May. We're looking at the end of the year if we're lucky and they can get the generators and the equipment that they need. So it's just kind of, but I think the timeline with the tower coming down and us getting the tower put up, I think it's gonna work out.
Any other comments? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Dieter, can you hear us?
Aye. Yeah, I got you.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to infrastructure planning and growth. There's only one item on the consent agenda. That's the speed limit on Fenner Lane from Beach Road to Dead End. Sky, do you want to add anything to that?
No.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda for IPG.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
So look, I won't forget. Aye.
Motion carries.
Old business report on Portage Manor. Councilman Mark Catanzaro.
Good morning, commissioners. Tasked Deb Fleming and myself with giving reports back from our meetings. And we held a meeting this past Sunday at the Portage Township Trustee's office. 2 in the afternoon, and we got a report back from the working groups that had been out previous week in small group fashion, working on things. One of the discussion points Sunday was about RCAP funding, which you guys addressed here this morning. That we know that's administered through the state's FSSA agency. I know that the 3 of us were in attendance also at the 3rd House meeting last Friday with state legislators. And Senator Mishler emphasized the point that it's important that we get the message to the state house from council and commissioners that there's support for increasing RCAP funding for places like Portage Manor and any other additional funding that might be out there. He also alluded to there might be some additional funding. He's working with Senator David Gauzion for Portage Manor that might be outside of RCAP. So I appreciate your guys' efforts today in getting that resolution passed. I'll take the message to our council tonight and see if we can't get a resolution passed similarly that would show our support for an increase in RCAP funding. Senator Nisgowski did stop by and talk to the group, basically explaining what we just talked about. Didn't know if RCAP would be able to be increased this year, but he said at least if you put it in the hopper, they know it's important, and it may get deferred, maybe to a study committee like happens sometimes, but if we can emphasize the urgency to it, maybe the state will have a change of heart and be able to increase that funding for us sooner than later. There's an operations committee. John Murphy's part of that. They met last Friday. Carla, Fails from Rural Services and John are working together to crunch numbers. They're planning to do more of a deep dive this week. Dr. Atala and Todd Zeiger are doing a walkthrough, I think today. I'm not sure what time. But today at Portage Manor to look at construction needs and costs with the contractor as well. We did discuss there's a need for affordable housing in our community, affordable assisted living in our community, and that may become a path forward as if Portage Manor would be succeed on a private or not-for-profit level, but it may be a path forward for them is to offer some affordable assisted living. Dr. Atala has formed a non-for-profit. She put paperwork together to form a non-for-profit with her legal counsel last week. And that would be her vehicle if she intended to pursue Portage Manor to get a quick transfer of the property, if that's how the commissioners so desire to go. There's currently 97 residents of Portage Manor. A couple of them have left and gone to other places and facilities. We questioned accordingly as to whether or not there could be an increase in patients at Portage Manor to keep the staffing levels up. So it kept the income flowing to try and keep it as revenue neutral as possible, if that's possible. But she's not willing to take on any additional patients now, given her current staffing at the facility. Actions we took away from that was I'm talking to council about possibility of a resolution for RCAP funding. More of a deep dive this week, John, if that's correct, would you agree? More of a deep dive this week in the finances. And Dr. Atala and her team are doing their walkthrough, I believe, today at Portage Manor. We planned on meeting next Sunday, but we forgot it was a Christian religious holiday, so we're looking for a new date, probably during the week next week to meet with a large group to find out what accomplishments were made this week. That's all I have for you.
Good, Carl. I'd like to thank Mark for taking the lead on the council side on this. Diana has helped them, along with Jason. Crystal's been out there, Pete Augustino. So I really appreciate the feedback. Secondly, there's no way that Courtney should or Portage Manor take any other people until things are decided. So I'm in total agreement with her of not doing that. But again, Mark, thanks for all the work and all the information getting back to us. That's the way this stuff should work, and it's working well. So appreciate your hard work. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. When
Thank-
are you meeting tonight up there? Over?
Well, we don't have a date set because we forgot there was some upcoming holidays the next couple of Sundays.
No,
Oh,
this afternoon. I thought.
I'm not going there. I think Dr. Atala and Todd Zeiger and a contractor are meeting there.
They're going out there. They're going out there at 2:00, Deb, if you want to meet them.
What time you said? 2:00? Is that what it?
Derek's saying too.
Okay, thank you.
We have other officials from the state that are coming in as well. It's going to be very busy, so if other people are planning to attend, I welcome you, but understand we are going to have some high-level state officials that are there at the exact same time that I'm going to have to bounce between. So I will not be necessarily immediately available to either group the entire time.
Understood.
Certainly.
Hey,
King
Carl,
Weather is moving forward. Yes.
Carl, if we can have a quick new business before public comment, I got something.
Sure.
Thank you. Tomorrow at 2:30 at Portage Manor again, we're starting a new program developed by the commissioners called Picking Trash with the Commissioners. So we'll be out again with clients from Dukem Center picking up trash. And this is a program where people are able to email the commissioner's office. They can call me on my cell phone, 532-2200. If you have locations where there's roadside trash, call us up. I'll check it out and see if it's resulting from a code enforcement issue. If not, and if anywhere in St. Joe County, including the city limits of South Bend and Mishawaka, if there's junk, trash, garbage, let us know, because we have clients from Dukem Center and some other concerned citizens who are tired and sick of all the crap that I see people throw out of their vehicles daily. So we will be leading a charge to pick that up.
Thank you. Tails, 2 o'clock.
2:30 tomorrow in front of
2:30.
Portage Man, picking all the burger wrappers and all the other bottles and garbage that people toss.
So be there again and clean it up again? Is that what you said at 2:30?
That would be correct.
So I could be there then tomorrow at 2:30?
I can't wait. I'll see you then, Deb.
Okay.
Under new business, I also want to just note we're sending out a press release just to emphasize that we're soliciting input on the Anderson Road project. And then that will be tied to our webpage and our Facebook page as well, so that people have the opportunity to put in their comments or ask questions rather on the Anderson Road project. Anything else? If not, do we have a motion to recess?
So move.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
Public comment.
no,
Public
I
comment.
didn't mean that. Still suffering from a cold here. Public comment, I'm sorry.
I have something. Nathan Kelly, 11355 Nicola Drive, Granger. I'm here to speak on behalf of 1,700 homes in the area surrounding the proposed Anderson Road Highway Maintenance Garage. We're deeply concerned about the county's plan to build a garage in the middle of a heavily concentrated residential zone. The area has a high water table that's extremely susceptible to groundwater contamination. Just because we're tearing down Cleveland Road does not dismiss the fact that it has contaminated the aquifer, Jude Creek, and has been condemned due to multiple environmental violations. The speed in which the MOU was signed and with such little public notice gives us a bad feeling that the county's cutting corners. Have we already forgotten about Cleveland Road? It's alarming that the county has neglected to resolve the outstanding IDEM violations from 2018, as many of the same issues showed up on the inspection from last week. Yet the commissioners want us to believe that this will not happen at the new garage. We need to understand the facts, they say. Here's a few facts I've gathered. September 2022, Commissioner Dieter approaches the Parks Board with a proposal to deed 7 acres for the garage. October 2022, a preliminary MOU between the Parks and County Board was introduced. November 2nd, conveniently, Area Plan Commission proposes a bill to change zoning ordinance to allow highway maintenance shops in the residential district. November 9, County Council holds the first reading of the bill, 163-22, and assigns to Area Plan Commission. November 15th, APC holds the public hearing, and no one was in attendance to oppose the bill. November 25th, public notice was issued in the Tribune regarding a hearing for Bill 163, but there were also a large number of other bills in this notice. November 6th, County Council holds a public hearing with no one in attendance to oppose the bill. County Council unanimously passed the bill. We believe that the county failed to post appropriate notice for such a large change to the ordinance. The bill was passed in only 30 days and discussed less than 10 minutes combined before receiving a unanimous passing vote. If proper notice was given, there would have been a crowd of residents, but minimum effort from the county in providing notice got the turnout the county preferred, and they were able to pass the bill right under our noses. In my opinion, this is slimy politics and not what we expect from our elected officials. You guys need to reconsider the decision to build a garage in a residential zone. The health and safety of its residents, especially after the Jude Creek disaster, should be of highest priority. We need transparency and adequate notice for such profound decisions. Based on what I've witnessed and uncovered in just the last few weeks, it's alarming what's going on here. We can work together to figure out a solution that works for both parties, the county and the residents of Granger, or we can just keep digging.
Anyone else wish to make a public comment? Please state your name and
I will. I'm gonna stand up because let's see. Phyllis Crawley, 11341 Nicole Drive, Granger. And I'm about 3 blocks from this site.
I have water and septic that is very good. But because of the farm over at, what is that, Bittersweet and Douglas and Cleveland in there, I bought myself a high dollar water filter. And when this was proposed, I was told by someone who's very knowledgeable about the water systems that even my Berkey can't filter what it's going to put in the ground. That bothers me because I have vegetables that I want to grow and put up. I have a little dog that doesn't get anything but purified water out of that Berkey. I don't drink anything out of the faucet. My husband died last summer from cancer. And it makes me wonder, is it because of all the trash that's gone into this aquifer so far? Are we getting bleed back from Jude Creek? And you people, responsible, supposedly responsible people, have gone through and snowballed this thing where no one knew anything until 3 weeks ago. I don't get the paper because I think it's a rag. And I think you people you're living on pride. You're affecting millions of people. Millions, not just us, but millions of people. In 2018, at least one of your garages had so many violations that they still haven't cleaned it up as of March 21st this year. Not too long ago, huh? Now, I don't know what you have to say about that, but it distresses me. And I want you to know that this is a big problem. And as the Lord says, pride goeth before the fall. And I think that's what you're doing right now. You've made a commitment and you think, boy, now we can do it. We can make a statement. Well, you're going to go national, I'm sure. Because this is a good, clean aquifer. Or it was until South Bend got hold of it.
Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you so much.
And I pray for you. I'll forgive you, but I'll pray for you.
Anyone else wish to make a comment? Not, we'll move to the folks online. Cynthia?
Good morning, Commissioners. Cynthia Heckman Davis, MD of Walkerton. 2 things. First, thank you for approving the contract with Dr. Joe Serban to be the health officer for the Department of Health. Dr. Serban is a good choice and well respected in the community. Second, I'm interested in the health of our community, as you know from my previous comments. I would like to ask this morning about the Force 5 contract with our Department of Health. I like that a local company, Force 5, is being considered for this project. My understanding is that this contract involves federal grant money and not local taxpayer money for a 6-month project educating people in our county about Department of Health programs so that people know better how to access those programs, from lead level testing to TB care. This is a good local project with no downsides that I can see. The grant money has been awarded, the contract has been signed, and the county council gave its okay. The only part remaining is for the Board of Commissioners to release the grant money. This grant money must be used in 2023, and since this is a 6-month project, it needs to be started right away. When will you sign the Force 5 contract? Thank you.
Anyone else online wish to make a comment? Seeing no other hands raised, do we have a motion to recess?
So move.
I'm sorry. Steve?
No, it's clapping.
Oh, I thought he was raising his hand.
It looked like a clap. Hold on just a second.
I'll second it.
All right, Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
All right.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye,
Motion carries.
thank you.